Hey guys, I thought I'd start off and talk a little bit about what I think we could do to do some of the comparison. I sent some notes. I thought about it, Kenji, as I went through, and I don't really see a reason to have a test and validate as well as train because I think you'd gone through that maybe in your head as well. Because I think the only time that test matters is if you have random variables and then you're just gonna basically rerun everything anyway, in which case that's another process. Any case, this is the loan stats table. I renamed it to compare model, and I'm gonna do a couple things. So you had all the labeled variables were the validate in the validate column, and let's see, I made a mistake here. Let me fix this. I had set pre-select role, no role. I was going to take the is charged off and make that default Y for most of this. So the first thing I want to do is you have a lot of potential predictors, and I'm not sure what our final ones were. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to say analyze fit model. This comes up is charged off. Move our potential predictors here, run it, and basically what I see here is a few of these things drop off at the bottom. So I'm going to go down here and just take them out of the model. So let's see. Mouse never works when you're doing something. Okay, so the ones I want to get rid of, I think I'm going to get rid of delinquent 2 years on down. So if I go here to, let's see, delinquent 2 years, I'm going to take off. Of course, that's okay. So delinquent 2 years. Yeah, I'm going to go delinquent 2 years, the mortgage ACC, open ACC, percent because purpose num accounts, purpose, let's see, num accounts, and then pub record bankruptcies, and tax liens and charge off. So tax liens, charge off, and then I'm gonna ungroup columns, so that takes them out. I'm gonna actually hide these so I don't have to look at them. So now we should have, so these are, looks like 14 variables that I'll use. First thing we'll do is a log. I could just rerun this, but we'll go in here, analyze fit model. Now I want to make sure that I've excluded, I want to make sure that I've excluded the validate or test data. So go in here and take this, and then I'm going to right click these and say exclude. So I'm now excluding this test data. So when I'm going to run some models, get prediction formulas, and then when I test them against the test, it won't have used the test data when it calculated the prediction formulas. So we go in here, do an analyze, we'll do the log first, fit model, remembers that, take our potential here, add, run, and that's close enough. We could probably get rid of revolving balance, but we'll just go in here and say save probability formula. I'm going to close this because I don't need it. I'm going to rename these. And just going to put a L for log. And we'll use this later. Okay, so that's the log. I went ahead and did a bootstrap because it didn't take that long. Predictive model, bootstrap forest, and same thing. So okay, just took the defaults since we didn't do this. Apparently the bootstrap tends to overfit a little bit, and should be something you can kind of see between the training and the test. So once this comes up, go here, save probability formula, and this is going to be, I'll go ahead and close this and go here, and we'll change this to bootstrap forest. I find that it takes a while to calculate this stuff, so it slows down as it's kind of going through and doing it, but that's okay. Okay, so now we have two models. We can do a decision tree, might as well. Doing an analyze partition. And I'm going to set the validation partition to 0 since we're going to have that test later. And we take the potential predictors, put that here, say okay, and go. And I'm not as curious about evaluating this because we can do that later, but I do want to save that prediction formula. And this is going to be the tree. And okay, so we got tree, bootstrap forest, logarithmic, and might as well do a neural net. So we go in here, analyze, predictive model, neural. Now I tried this earlier, and for this video I'm going to keep this simple because when I make it hard it actually locked up my program after it figured out the numbers, which was really annoying. So same thing before, I'm going to set this to 0, and I'm going to go, I'm going to kind of keep this, I like symmetry, and I'm just going to go 1, 1, 1, and just put 5 here, and we'll use like some, I think this is boosting, we'll use 2, but anyway. And I like to do this too, so we'll run this. This is going to take a while, so I'll see how it's going, whether or not I want to cancel and then come back. Seems to be moving. So after this, we'll do a compare models after we add the test data back in. It doesn't look like it's going to be too long. Last time I think I had like 3 in all the numbers or something. And this part worked, but then when it went back and it actually tried to create those columns for the prediction formulas, it took forever. So looks like this might wrap up in the next 15 seconds or so. That's my hope. And talking about earlier, I think if you were gonna have a test after all of this, it's kind of like you test the randomness and you test it again. I think it's kind of like it's important to run your test many times, and it's funny to know what the optimal number is because there's an example in the compare models. So, okay, so we did this. Even though I said don't do this, looks like it held some back. So I might have missed something, but oh, that's the difference between. Yeah, I don't even know because I thought that on my model I changed the model to 0, but what do I know? All right, so we'll save this prediction formula. Well, I think I screwed something up. Maybe not. Okay, so home, neural net, and say okay. And say okay. And just for consistency's sake, we'll change this as well. And say okay. And then what we want to do is we're going to do a model comparison, and we're going to group. Oh, forgot to unhide this. So basically go here and say clear select. This doesn't matter, but I'll clear it anyway. So then we go analyze, predictive model, model comparison, and we'll put this. Let's see. Oh, get the wrong thing. Habit. So we want to have the logarithmic model here. We want to have bootstrap forest, tree, and then neural network. Add it. And we want to have the validation in here as the group, and say okay. And then I usually bring the area and the curve up, and that's the short version. And basically a quick inspection of this makes it look like bootstrap forest tends to overtrain here, so you get 0.22, but in your test you're going to get 0.12, so it's a huge discrepancy. So it almost looks like neural net did pretty good at 0.13 and 0.14, and logistic did pretty good at 0.13 and 0.12, but that's the short video, and we can talk more tomorrow about if we want to do something. Now, I would think if we took these models, saved them, and ran it against like some k-fold thing, you might get some better idea. But anyway, that's a quick model comparison. Hope it is interesting.